Hey folks, welcome to the drill descriptions for youth and junior groups for day one. Minis ends up doing rugby, baseball, and soccer, so it doesn't make sense for you to listen to all that. So here is your set of drills. Um, the only real difference between the youth and the junior drills is that the youth sessions are designed to be about 40 minutes of drills and 20 minutes of scrimmages, and the youth group, or sorry, the junior group is designed to be 30 minutes of drills and 30 minutes of scrimmage. So more of an even weight between the two for the junior group, and an expectation that they progress through the drills a bit quicker. Please be mindful of time. I would really like us to get in the habit of getting people out at 5:20, 6:25, sorry, not dragging to 6:30 or later, just because one, we only have the fields for that long technically, and two, um, it's disrupting the local 613 and King Bear practice. Not to mention, I guess three, parents want to leave. So yeah, let's just try to be aware of that. Keep checking your watches every so often. I'll just go through the drills right now. So the first thing is doing an icebreaker. Everybody will have a name tag, so say your name, say your favorite flavor of ice cream. For the older group, you might say, like, what's the most interesting TV show you've watched recently or something like that. But ice cream's pretty easy. And then after everybody's had a chance to say their names, then you say, okay, go grab a partner, grab a disc, take a lap. So give them two landmarks to go to. They have to do short pop passes. So that's just like 2 foot passes, bang, 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 bang. Ton of touches, quick movement. I usually send them out to the two, like go to one, then the other, and come back. Then I say, hey, no traveling this time. So you can't just like run through your throw. That usually slows them down a bit. And so that should take up the first 5 or 10 minutes, honestly, because they're usually not going to be as great at throwing yet, and the name, going around and saying everybody's name, takes a bit of time. One little note: the youth groups are all about 20 kids, so everybody's going to be doing everything at the same time. The junior group is actually up to 28 kids that are registered now. So my recommendation is that you take the group and run 2 stations. So one will be the first drill I tell you, and then the second can be, or sorry, the second and third drill, that's where we can split up into stations. Um, or if you really wanted to, I guess, and you have all 3 coaches, you can run 3 stations. I'll let you make a decision about that. My recommendation for juniors is that you do backhands together, and then you do one that's handler moves and one that's color cutting. Um, for everyone else, we're going to do it as one big group. Just ask me if I didn't explain that properly. Okay, so the first drill is just backhands. So set them up all in 2 lines facing each other. Everybody's got a partner. Everybody's should be about 10 yards apart. Make sure they've got a lot of space on either side of them because we are going to work on pivoting. Um, and so we're going to work on backhands for the first 5 or 10 minutes. The goal with that is to get them all understanding the same kind of wording and also doing the mechanics properly. So with the younger kids, what I talk about is driving a car, flattening it out, winding it up, and throwing. And I think that's probably a good base to start with. It covers most of it pretty well. The 3 things that I think it misses are, one, the shoulder moving down as we come across. So the little kids are just going to twist. But in reality, once we get the pivot, we're going to actually need to move our shoulder down to rotate. And so that shoulder moving down across is another cue that you should give. And the other is stepping out on the line. So you're going to talk to them about the value of a pivot and stepping around a mark. So that shoulder moving down on a line and the step out will really help them get around the mark that's going to be there. And then the last thing that we talk about with the older group is the snap of our wrist, and it's called the backhand. I like to think about it as you're backhanding someone or something. Um, Kids will usually kind of laugh when you say that, but the point is it needs to be like a bit of a snap there to finish the throw. So the cues I would say are drive your car, flatten it out, step out, wind up, and drop the shoulder, snap to finish. And if you do that, you'll probably be okay. Start them close together, then you can start to push distance a bit. And you can do the classic, if you catch it, take another step apart. And that's kind of what we should be doing for the first little bit, just making sure we're all on the same page. So that's drill 1. Get everybody doing that. Should be a ton of throws. Drill 2 is handler moves. So handler moves is all about kind of working in the reset space. I like to talk it through as if it's a combination or like happening through a game. So I'm going to explain it. So because we just worked on backhands, we want to set up for the righty backhand because most people are going to be right-handed. So coach can be here with a disc. Actually, no. Yeah, player can be here with a disc and throwing backhands. The coach is going to be right here, being like a little bit of a mark, a defender. The athletes are going to be right there, and then you can have a line of athletes ready to come into the drill. Okay. And right here, the first move is just a straight up line. So you got to talk about, okay, we got to get open, which means we have to run hard. So talk about just getting open and working really hard. So they need to be accelerating. They need to kind of get around that person, and they're going to catch the disc kind of in this space here, and they're going to use that backhand to hit the next person. Okay, so they go charge up line, they catch it, and they throw a backhand. Great. After you catch it, you cycle back to the line, and the next person becomes that target. Okay, so you cycle that through. Hopefully, you can cycle through people pretty quickly. Now, the second time, not the second time, do it like 3 or 4 times per kid, and then you say, the next time you've beaten me 3 or 4 times, I'm not going to let you go that way. So what you're going to do as the coach is you're going to tell them that they need to move you upfield for 2 steps, and then they need to go the other way. So they're going to charge upfield for 2 steps to make you think, as the defender, make the defender think that you're going up line, then turn the other way. This person's going to throw the around, and then let's have a target in the middle of the field now. And then the throw continues over. They can throw backhand or flick. It doesn't really matter on that one. And again, after they make that up and back cut and throw, then they become this person, and then they cycle back into the line. Okay. And then the last one, I guess you can do 4 with this, really. Let's start with the next one. So now you're like, this person now is really smart. They're expecting the upline. We're getting ready to seal it, and then you just go deep. Okay. Okay. So that should be a little bit of a backhand, not a like a baby deep. And then you can have the next person here, and then they throw that along. And if you've got time, then you can do the last variant, which is a box cut and a target over here. Okay, so that you've got the upline, the reset, the strike cut, the like go deep cut, and then the box cut. So those are your 4. Realistically, probably only getting through 3 of those on the handler move section of that. The last, and I would say you should be able to do a couple versions of that, so that you can get the right number of kids through. And then the other group is doing color. The last drill is color cutting. And so I would set up the kind of a wrinkle on throw and go deep, which we do a lot with the younger groups, but I would set up 4 different color cones, kind of about 5 yards apart. You can start the athletes in a line there, and maybe the coach is over here with a bunch of discs. Okay, and this coach is for the first person, they're going to say like red, yellow, blue. And so this person has to go like red, yellow, blue, and then go root. And then you'll say green, red, purple, and you go green, red, purple. So you can kind of make them cut on some funky patterns. But the point is that you're looking for them to get low, to drive and change direction aggressively, and then go out. And so, yeah, you're just going to kind of throw a bunch of throws deep for them, and they will love it because they just love chasing plastic. So that's the last drill of the set today. So just a reminder, those drills were icebreakers and partners lap, backhands all together, handler moves, and color cutting. Handler moves and color cutting should be about the same time. If either of them is going to be short, it's maybe color cutting. So in that case, if you feel like you still need to work for time, I would say go to having a defender on them. Okay, and so the coach can tell the cutter essentially like red, yellow, blue, and then the defender is going to follow the cutter and try to like match them and stuff. And then the last thing you're going to do is a scrimmage. Okay, so I would say that most groups should be working 2 scrimmages in their section. So set up 2 fields. The goal that we're looking for in all of this is that um, someone who's kind of like your middle of the pack player or even like bottom third in terms of skill and throwing ability should be able to throw a disc for a huck into the end zone from anywhere on the field. We're trying to make the game a little more accessible, more points being scored, more opportunities. So everybody should probably be playing 5-on-5 in their spaces, or even 3-on-3, 4-on-4-ish. So work your numbers. Ideally, I want to have 40, like 60-70% of the kids on at a time. So if you've got a group of 10, playing 3-on-3 means 6 of the kids are on the field, 4 are off. You sub in 2 kids. And a better number would, if you had 10 kids, would be 4-on-4 with 1 sub, so that kids get a lot of reps and they play most of the time. That's kind of the goal, rather than playing kind of traditional 7-on-7, which ends up being 1 or 2 people touching the disc and everyone else kind of standing around. It's also too clogged for this age group. So when you're running your scrimmages, again, run 2 versions, 2 sets of scrimmages. You'll have pennies for everybody. You'll have pennies for 1 team on each side, rather. Um, Work your numbers so that there's about a 3 or 4 to 1 work to rest ratio, meaning 3 to 4 to 1 of athletes on the field to off the field. And then that's it. So again, icebreaker, partner's lap, backhands, handler moves, color cutting, scrimmage. That is week 1. Thanks for all the work you're doing, folks. Really appreciate it.